Hey, NOLES, what's going on? It's CJ Wilson, your host with Dope Talk, here to bring you some quick hitters in regards to recruitment. It's been a very busy rather last couple of weeks for FSU, with a lot of visits on campus as the college football with the NCAA rather dead period has come to a close, and college campuses has been opened up to families and recruits. FSU has had, like I said, has had a multitude of guys. Want to highlight some of the guys that's been on campus this past week, going to practices, scrimmages, and things like that. Before we get started, On the Trail is brought to you by Realtor Jude Paul. Jude is a realtor in Southwest Florida, but services the entire state of Florida. Whether you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is your guy. He'll definitely take care of you. Big time FSU fan. Again, trying to buy or sell your home, it's two things that can happen for you. We can put money back in your pocket with the closing costs. Also, if you try to buy or sell, we'll donate some of the proceeds to the Battles End Collective. Again, big time FSU fan. Knows how to take care of knows. You can reach out to you can reach out to Jude at www.homesforknows.com. Again, that website is www.homesforknows.com. Check it out and see what he has to offer. All right, let's jump right into it. Five-star offensive tackle Josh Petty out of Georgia. He was on campus this past Tuesday. First visit to FSU, and ended up liking his visit. Whenever kids, that's the main thing for me for these kids that haven't experienced FSU, rather no visits and things like that. See what their main takeaway is when coming to Tallahassee, because 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of positive reviews. Because in my opinion, Tallahassee is a special place when it comes to being, as far as, how can I put this, Florida State, FAMU, TCC, the town. It's just a college football. It's a college town with a lot of football vibes, and then you come and take a visit and you see all the culture and history that FSU presents. You're kind of blown away from it, right? And of course, the family vibes and the atmosphere that Norvell has brought to FSU that's trickled down throughout the staff and things like that. So you look for these first-time visitors. You look to see how the visit goes, post-visit, to see really how where FSU stands within the recruitment, and it didn't disappoint. Josh Petty left some raving reviews for FSU, some direct quotes. FSU, I loved it. It was a great visit today. See what Coach Alex Atkins and Coach Mike Norvell are all about. They got a lot of energy out here at practice. It was physical, fast football. A couple of things he stated that, just Coach Norvell and the message that he's sending has been different than any other coach that has been recruiting him. Following the visit, Petty said FSU was up there for sure. I didn't really understand what it meant to be in Tallahassee until I got here, and what this place is and how special this place is until I was here. So that's interesting. We'll see if FSU could keep pushing and working on Petty and get him for an official visit over the summer, over the fall, whichever it may be, whichever he prefer. But I do think the Georgia Bulldogs may be the leader in his recruitment, but to have him on campus for the first time and to hear those reviews on the visit is interesting, but won't go too far within his recruitment or get too excited, rather, until he schedules another visit, an official visit. We'll see how serious, that recruitment is. But I do think FSU is up there as far as, in the thick of his recruitment. But I do think Georgia Bulldogs, the home state team, may have the edge for now. But we'll see how that goes. I think FSU continues to recruit him and chip away at the recruitment. They should be in a pretty good spot. Moving on. Joshua Moore, 3-star receiver from the South Florida area, Broward County. He was on campus, had a lot of good things to say for FSU as well regarding that visit. Josh Moore had a direct quote in regards to his visit. It was great. I came here and I seen everything that I needed. It's all like a brotherhood. It's a family. So Josh has been on campus a multitude of times. He's a 3-star kid, but don't let that fool you. He's highly coveted by University of Miami, Florida, and Georgia, including Florida State. Those are pretty much the top 4 teams within his recruiting services. 6'3", 205 pounds, big-time playmaker. Like I said, don't let the rankings fool you. His offer list and the schools that are after him shows how high of a priority he is, and Josh Moore is a pretty big priority for FSU. Would definitely be a take 100%. I do think he did end up visiting Georgia following the FSU visit. I think those are the 2 schools that are tops for Josh Moore, FSU and Georgia, as far as standing out above Miami and the University of Florida. He does have an official visit scheduled for the summer. We'll see how that plays out with Joshua Moore, but to get him on campus is definitely a good thing. Moving on, let's stick with the receivers. Dallas Wilson, 5-star receiver out of the Tampa, Florida area. He was on campus this week as well. Dallas is committed to Oregon, but he's keeping his options open, taking a multitude of visits, including UCF and amongst others. We'll see how this how this progression plays out with Dallas. I don't want to put him in the serious category as of yet. He scheduled some follow-up visits to FSU and maybe an official visit. Then we'll look at some things and maybe pay more attention rather and put him in a serious category. But as of now, I think he's just enjoying the recruiting process. He is committed to Oregon, but to get a five-star receiver on campus with his, how can I put this, an in-state five-star receiver rather of his caliber is always a good thing. Koby Howard, three-star receiver out of South Florida as well, 5'11", 185 pounds. Well, not necessarily out of South Florida. He's originally from the Pensacola area and just recently transferred to South Florida in Chaminade, the big-time program down in South Florida. This is an interesting one as well. He's been on campus more times than I could count. I'm not sure how much of a priority he would be for FSU as far as a take right now, but I like him personally. He's a big-time playmaker. I do think Dugan's likes him personally as well. We're just after a bunch of receivers, but I could be wrong. We'll see how the receiver board stacks up once this thing plays out. He has an official visit scheduled for FSU as well too. Like I said, he's a three-star receiver, but I think he's a lot better than his three-star ranking. A former FSU great, NFL great Antonio Cromartie had Koby Howard and Jamie French out of Mandarin as his top two receivers, out of the top two receivers out of the state of Florida for this 2025 receiver class. When Crow has an opinion on a player, I pay close attention to it. So he has those guys in high regards. If you look at his film, Koby Howard is a big time playmaker. Did have a knee injury a few years ago, trying to bounce back from that, but he's a big time playmaker, like I said, nonetheless. I will say that UM is probably the other school that's in the driver's seat first recruitment. I will say it's probably an FSU Miami battle for Koby Howard. Moving on to the linebacker position, I think this is a position that FSU has done a hell of a job in regards to having an extensive board. It's a lot of talent that we're after within the linebacker position. Randy Shannon's done a damn good job of offering these kids, building relationships, and having an expansive board. That's something we haven't had in the past years for the linebacker position, but it's a lot to pick from that position. I say that to say this. Tarvos Alford, four-star linebacker, top 100 guy at Vero Beach, 6'2", 210 pounds. He was on campus this past Thursday for the scrimmage and being inside the Doak Campbell Stadium. He had raving reviews of the visit. This is Saturday. He does commit this Saturday on March the 30th. At this point in time, I think it's going to be Ohio State. I think Ohio State is the team that's in front of his recruitment right now. He's going to commit to Ohio State. But I wouldn't get too worried with that because Tarvos has a multitude of official visits scheduled in June, regardless of his commitment, including FSU. So Miami, UCF, Ohio State are some of the teams that's in play for Tarvos. Again, he's going to commit to Ohio State likely this Saturday, but I wouldn't get too concerned on that because it's a long way to signing day, and his recruitment is not over at all. Like I said, he's not shutting things down. He's still taking visits, including FSU this upcoming summer. Has an official visit on the docket. So we'll see if we can keep chipping away at that recruitment and make some noise. But regardless, like I said, FSU has done a great job of expanding the linebacker board and having viable options for this 2025 recruiting class. Moving on to the defensive back room, Hylton Stubbs. This is my favorite. You guys know I've been saying this a multitude of times, right? This is my favorite safety within the 2025 cycle. I think he's the best safety in the state of Florida. This has been an interesting couple weeks for Hylton Stubbs, to say the least, as far as just recruitment. If you guys follow his recruitment, the University of Florida has had a lot of momentum with Stubbs. They've been gaining a lot of crystal balls and things like that. FSU, of course, has still been a steady within his recruitment, but after all those crystal balls, I think he took an unofficial visit to USC over spring break and was blown away by the visit. Blown away so much that he ended up committing to the USC Trojans. Like I said, USC has had a lot of momentum over the trail within the last couple of weeks as well. We want to give him a shout out. So he did end up committing to USC earlier in the week, and then a few days later, he's on campus for the FSU spring scrimmage. Now, he does have a brother that is a walk-on for FSU, so that could be some family ties there as well. But it was interesting to see him back on campus. Like I said, he's a high priority guy. I know a lot of people kind of question how high of a priority was he for FSU in regards to his recruitment and things like that, or was FSU pressing and pushing for his commitment? Got some clarification on that. He is a high priority for FSU. He would definitely be a take if he wanted to flip his commitment, or rather just commit to FSU and sign. That wouldn't be a problem. Adam Fuller definitely values Hylton Stubbs and what he brings to the table, which is a big-time playmaker. Sideline, a ball hawk, so to speak. So it's interesting to see how this recruitment play out. FSU isn't on the books yet for an official visit. Like I said, UF, they're not going to let up on this recruitment. That they're going to continue to push. In the University of Miami as well, they're pushing for Hylton Stubbs commitment too. So it's going to be interesting to see the 3 in-state schools battle USC in trying to flip that commitment. But again, I think it was a good unofficial visit rather for FSU. Just keep chipping away and try to lock him down for an official visit. So again, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's what we have now for the quick hitters in regards to recruitment. You guys know these videos are going to be coming out more rapidly once spring practice once the spring rather starts amping up and things like that and leading to the summer. Make sure you guys lock in with Dope Talk. Like I said, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Before we get out of here, make sure you guys join our membership. We have 2 tiers of membership. It's something new we have with Dope Talk. You're going to get all the exclusive content early, way before we drop it officially on YouTube. And also, you have a lot of perks in regards to tailgates and things like that. I want to give a shout out to the people that have already joined. Shout out to Joseph, Jen, and Robbie. You guys are greatly appreciated. Again, if you guys haven't joined the membership, go ahead and join the membership. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Go NOLES.